Hi and welcome back. In our last video, we talked about simple sentences, and we said a simple sentence was an independent clause. Now, if you take two independent clauses and join them together with what we call a coordinated conjunction, you have a compound sentence. Before we get too involved in our discussion, let's take a few moments and talk about coordinated conjunctions. First, there are 7, and each one tells us something of the relationship between the two independent clauses. Second, if you take the first letter of each conjunction, it spells the word FANBOYS. For, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. Now, that should be easy to remember, right? Let's take each one of them now and get a closer look. The first one is for. This for means cause or reason. The students need to go home now, for it is getting late. It is getting late is the cause for going home now. The students need to study tonight, for they have a test tomorrow. The test is the cause for studying tonight. The next one is and, meaning addition. The students go to the bookstore and they buy books. The and in the sentence is simply telling us one event happens and then another event happens. The students go to the bookstore, first event, and they buy books, second event. Some people study better in the library, and other people study better at home. The second clause is giving us more information on where people study. Now, the N in FANBOYS stands for nor. We use this word when we are talking about choice or option in a negative way. The factory did not comply with government regulations, nor did they change their safety policy. The meaning is the factory should have done both of these, but they failed to do both. Now, it's important to note the word order in the second clause when we use nor. In the first clause, you have a subject, the factory, a helping verb, did not, and the verb, comply. In the second clause, you have the helping verb, did, the subject, they, and the verb, change. Our next coordinator is but, meaning contrast. iPhones are convenient, but they are expensive. In other words, the good thing about iPhones is that they are convenient. The negative thing about iPhones is that they are expensive. But shows a change of direction. After but, we have or. Now, like nor, or simply means choice or option, but this time we use it in a positive way. You can buy organic food or you can buy non-organic food. You can exercise at the gym or you can exercise in the park. Now, the Y is for yet. We use yet when we are talking about two things happening at the same time. We have this expectation that something will happen, but it doesn't. For example, he studied all night, yet he failed the test. He never studied for the test, yet he passed. As we said, the word yet gives almost the meaning of expecting something to happen, but it doesn't. Or expecting something not to happen, but it does. He studied all night. He was expecting to pass, but it doesn't happen. Or he did not study all night. He was not expecting to pass, but he does. Our last one is so. So means results of or effects of. Businesses often sell their products at a low price, so they can make more money. Now, what it's saying is businesses sell their products at a lower cost, and the result is they make more money. Now, there are two common errors we see with compound sentences. The first one is, if we leave out the comma and the conjunction after the first clause, we have what we call a run-on sentence. The second one is, if we just use a comma without one of the FANBOYS or the coordinated conjunctions, we have a comma splice. So it is important when using compound sentences to use a comma after the first clause and one of the FANBOYS. To make it clear, let's look at these examples. Our first one is, French is not required at the university. Students often take the course. Now, to correct the sentence, we need to place a comma after the first clause right here and add a conjunction like, let's say, but. Now our sentence is correct. In this sentence, classes begin on Monday. Many students have not registered. This sentence has the correct punctuation, but it's missing the conjunction. Now, to correct this comma splice, if we add yet, we'll have a correct sentence. Classes began on Monday, yet many students have not registered. In this last example, the punctuation is missing. The library will be closed for the summer, so all books need to be returned. If we just add the comma after the first clause, we'll have a good sentence. Well, that brings us to the end of this presentation. Next time, we are going to talk about complex sentences. So until then, take care and don't forget to take the quiz below, and I'll see you next time.